Okay.
Hello, my name is Daniela. I'm from Israel, and I'm sorry that I lost your voice.
Hello, my name is Jonas. I'm from Germany, and I'm also sorry for her voice.
I'm Veronika. I'm from the Czech Republic, and guess what? I'm very sorry that we lost her voice.
I'm Eyal from Israel, and I'm also sorry that she lost her voice.
We are going to present you how we are going to save the world with organic hydrogen production.
Oh, excuse me. Why aren't you cooking your food?
Oh, good people. I earn $4 per day. I have 8 children. There's no way I can buy fuel for cooking. And I tried to make fire in order to cook, but now my children and I are suffering from smoke in our lungs. What can I do? How can I cook for my children and I?
Well, as you can clearly see, the situation right now in rural off-grid areas is awful. We need to help these people which cannot sustain their families. They do not have the money to sustain their families. And when we're talking about money specifically here to cook food, we're talking about either using oil fuel or gas fuel, fossil fuel or gas fuel. Well, fossil fuel, first of all, it's relatively high cost and it really hurts the environment. It has a high carbon dioxide emission. The second option, which is hydrogen or hydrogen-based gas, there is currently 2 main methods to produce it. First of all, we have electrolysis, which, while it is very efficient, it does require quite a high energy input and prior energy input. And the second method, reforming, requires really high temperatures, which are very hard to obtain in rural off-grid areas, and it also releases carbon monoxide, which is a very deadly toxin.
Yeah, so it's quite obvious that we need a new solution. And during our research, we found out that a team of international researchers found a bacteria that can degrade organic material into hydrogen. So we just had to think about what organic material we are going to use. We need organic material that we have everywhere on the planet and that is cheap and also effective enough so we can cook meal for the people living in off-grid environments. So our solution is sewage, because sewage is everywhere, everyone produces sewage, and sewage is going to change the world.
So, our basic idea is to decompose organic waste from toilets and animal wastes into hydrogen that we will store. And in this process, the byproduct is fertilizer that we can use later on.
The cycle, this reaction is called the NADH cycle, or the anaerobic NADH cycle, and it is currently performed by a Clostridium species, and there's another suggested species, the Enterobacteria aerogenes, which, while it is in early research stages, it is proving to be quite promising for the future. We also use the Giardia duodenalis. It's an aerobic bacteria that takes the oxygen out of the air, because the NADH anaerobic cycle can only occur when it's under 4% oxygen in the air. So you have to have another bacteria that will take the oxygen out of the air, or else the cycle just won't work. The cycle reacts as follows. You have carbohydrates and water, which react and are split by the enzymes into carbons, carbon dioxide, and hydrogen. The gas emissions are as follows: 64% hydrogen, molecular hydrogen, 36% carbon dioxide, and 0.13% methane.
So, this is how it works. The poop, animal waste, the rest of the food slide down the pipe. There is a simple siphon solution which prevents most of the oxygen from going into the system to keep it anaerobic. In the first tank, our bacteria are already waiting. The nice things about the tank is that it's a classic 1 cubic meter container which you can buy in I don't know, local hardware store. And now, how to store the gases? Do you like air balloons?
Yay!
Yeah. And do you like the Zeppelin catastrophe? Me neither. So this is why we store the gases in the balloon, but we keep the balloon inside of a tank in order to keep it safe. There is one more output. There's a small amount of material which stays in the bottom of the first tank. This will fill the tank in about a year. Depends how many people or how much waste is inside of the tank. Then it can be removed and used as a fertilizer.
Yeah, you might be wondering how much energy we are gaining from this process. And normal people produce, like, for example, 700 grams of fluid per day, and bacteria is capable of degrading 12% of the fluid. 12% sounds like it's not much, but if you put it into perspective, 12% of 700 grams is enough to produce 94 kilojoules per person per day. And that's enough to boil water, so you can take 281 milliliters of water, you can boil it and make tea out of it. Now if you have a big community of, let's say, 50 people, we can use the sewage from all those people, and every day we can cook one meal out of the hydrogen we produce. Yeah. We estimated the cost of the hydrogen to $0 per liter. That's even cheaper than all the fossil fuels you can get, because it's nothing. Of course, you have to have an initial investment of about $200 because the materials you need to buy from a hardware store. But $200 is not much. When to put in perspective that $200 is the estimated cost for about 50 people. And now, if you want to expand, if you want to scale the system, you just have to add another container, and the containers just cost $20 to $50. So if you have not 50 but 100 people, you just have to add one more container, and you are not at $200, you are at $250.
So we came up with a rather unconventional but eco-friendly and an efficient solution for producing an energy supply or supplying the energy to the grid communities. As I said, it doesn't require any connection to the grid. It doesn't require any further investment. The process itself is very cheap. The hydrogen, when it's burnt, it doesn't produce any smoke. By providing the storage of the sewage, we actually also prevent the water pollution. And it's very easily scalable, so you just buy another container when you need some more. And the cherry on the top, we also get this fertilizer that the people can use in their fields. But we are already thinking about what to do in the future, where to go next. First of all, we are thinking about the decomposing process. We'd like to optimize it by maybe using the different types of bacteria, so that the percentage of the hydrogen we get is higher. We are also thinking about other ways how to store our hydrogen, so it's still safe, but still affordable. And in the back of our minds, we have this idea that we could separate the individual gases and then use the pure hydrogen for example, being the fuel in the electric cars.
So, we found potential with the least expected resource, and that's how we are going to change the world. Thank you.
Thank you very much for the nice presentation. I have two questions. One, we have learned how much energy you can produce per person, I guess. But how much energy is needed in this form per person? How do you compare this amount to the need per person under the current assumptions? And still with regard to that, what the upper limit as to proving this must be an upper limit. How much can one produce out of a certain amount of food or sewage or whatever? The other question has to do with risks. What's the problem? There must be few problems. Risks dealing with hydrogen.
Yeah. So I'm going to begin with the question: how much energy you have to put in there? And the energy you put in there is just simply the sewage, because the bacteria take the glucose and the
carbohydrates in there.
Hydrocarbons. Yeah,
Yeah.
but how much is needed per person?
As we said,
yeah.
Well, you see, if the system only uses people's sewage, then it's not that high amount. It's like 280 milliliters, like more than 280 milliliters per person. But if you also count in animal sewage, the amounts go way higher.
No, I'm not asking how much do you produce, but how much is needed.
we originally intend to burn, use this hydrogen or this gas we produce for cooking. So we kind of estimated that this would be the this amount what we produce is about enough to cook a meal for a family which uses it. So we're currently the energy we produce and the energy we use, we think that it's in equilibrium. It's about the same.
Yeah, so we need, for example, we need around 10 persons, 9.5 people, in order to cook one meal for a family. So.
Yeah, the idea is to deal with all that is involved.
And your other question was about the risk. So,
Oh yes, so for sure there's a risk because we're working with hydrogen. That's why we put the balloon inside the tank. Then it's safer.
It's also
It's safer, but still you have to take it out in order to use it.
yes,
And the question whether the people will be
So,
informed enough, who will know how to deal with the hydrogen.
so our idea was to save the hydrogen far away from like the village, so that it won't cause any
explosion.
So imagine that there's we don't take the whole balloon outside of the tank. There's a ventile or a pipe which goes to the, for example, the burner when the hydrogen is used.
Another thing is, since it's in an anaerobic environment, there is no oxygen in the balloon. The balloon itself only has carbon dioxide and hydrogen inside it. There is no oxygen inside the balloon itself, so
So many for
That's
questions.
about that question. No more questions?
No more questions. Stop.
Okay.